Multifamily purchases come to an almost standstill according to The Real Deal. Investor purchases have dropped 30% in the third quarter, according to Redfin. Apartments.com, we have over 3,200 rentals available. What does this mean for you if your lease is coming up or you're looking at moving here and renting a property? Stay to the end where we have a subscriber share his local Boise, Idaho experience in the rental market, and he was able to successfully negotiate $200 less a month by renegotiating his current lease. Welcome to the Good News Real Estate channel where we talk about real, honest, data-driven events here in Boise and beyond. So now we made this graph. We pulled the data from Zillow in order to show you what the rent prices have kind of been doing and what they're doing now. So what we can see right here is that they kind of peaked here, and now they are on this downward trend. According to Zillow, our Boise average is $1,785 a month for rent, but we know that we're a little bit higher than that just based off the story that we're going to share with you and based off of what we know what's going on in the market. As the rental prices come down, if you are a renter or you're going to be a renter, you know that, hey, I might be able to save money. So we asked one of our property management friends, and they stated a couple things that I wanted to share with you, telling their investors that we can't push prices anymore. Reason being is there's more inventory on. They're seeing vacancies are rising. There's more vacancies coming up, and people are giving 30-day notices. If they're stuck in an apartment, but now they can get a single-family home for the same price that they were paying for that 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment, well, they're going to move. With more inventory coming on the market, it allows them to have options. On top of that as we come into spring, this vacant inventory that we've been talking about for months that's not getting sold, people are going to start converting more and more of those into rentals, and that's going to create our inventory to increase even more. And with that increased inventory, more inventory, less demand is going to help bring prices down. For instance, let's look at this graph put together by John Burns Real Estate Consulting, where they show only 1% of sellers converted their listings into rentals back in July, but now that's up to 14% here in November. That's a huge increase. A matter of fact, that's the second highest region in the United States. And something to point out here, this is showing us the health of the real estate market here in the Northwest. Now, some people around the US are saying that the market's not crashing, but as you can see, more sellers are having to convert their listings into rentals to make ends meet because they have vacant homes sitting on the market. Here in the Northwest, again, we are seeing more than maybe other parts of the country, and that's why you got to be regional specific. Let's jump into this story from a local subscriber who did his research and used it to help him save money on his monthly rent. We value your time and we don't want to waste it. We're not monetizing this channel, but if you could, it would really help us out if you liked and subscribed this video. So let's jump into it. Why don't you share your name?
I'm Shelby Talbot.
Yeah, and you live here in the Boise Valley area?
Yes, I live out in Star.
Okay.
The wonderful town of Star.
And so you were coming up on your new lease. The lease was expiring, and you had to sign a new one. So what happened there?
Right. So January, the end of January is when my year lease expires. In November, they reached out. We got our 60 days before kind of thing, and right now I'm currently paying $23.50 a month, and they wanted to up it $50. And I'm looking around at the economy and everything and the other houses, and I'm like, I don't think that's fair. So I tell them, I'm like, listen, I want to come down on price. And they give me this story about how I'm only paying $1 per square foot, and that's well below the national average. And if I was paying the national average, I'd be over $2,700. And I'm like, I don't care. This is like a lagging indicator anyway, because we are definitely going down for rental market and the real estate.
Right.
And anyway, so we kind of left it at that. And when we had this conversation, there was 37 houses in Star, which I don't know. That's a lot of houses for Star, Idaho.
Right.
But anyway, we left it at that. I let them sweat it for a few days. Well, I kind of thought, and I put a low ball offer in another place. And somebody ended up giving a full offer at $2,200. Well, I was like, well, $2,200 seems legit then.
Yeah.
So anyway, they call me back a few days later, and there was now 39 houses on the market, and I'm like,
so in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks. So, 2 more listings nothing got taken off.
And I was just like, okay, this is gonna work in my favor. So we're having a conversation, and property management's like, oh, hey, listen, you are. Sorry, I run a tough bargain. That's kind of what she was saying. And I was just like, yeah, me too. Cause I'm not going to pay up in rent. There's other places that I can go. And I said, and truthfully, I said, I think at this point, the owners of the house are probably going to be pretty upset if like a good renter like myself who pays their bills on time, moves out and their house sets on the market for however long, because then we have other options now, like, oh, do we have to sell it? Can they even sell it for what they paid for it?
Right.
You know, it's one of those things that I just kind of put in her ball court there, her court, you know. And anyway, she asked me, she said, well, what number are you thinking? I said 2,200. And lo and behold, she was like, well, I guess we can go to bat. And the owner came back and they wanted to go for 2,200, and, you know, ended up saving me $200 a month, which I'm stoked about in this economy. Like, I mean, it's not quite 10%, but it's a good fall, you know, so.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah. The reason why we do this channel is we want you guys to be educated on what's going on in the market. And if you listen to Shelby, he was following his specific market. Okay, what's going on in Star? What's the activity going on in Star? And based on this, he had ammo to go to his landlord and say, listen, I understand you want to raise my rent. I understand you're going to the national average, but we're looking at Star here. Star is not the same as the national average. And sure, I may be paying less than the national average, but on top of it, we have more opportunity, more things going on. And then the thing that I love the most, he said, and by the way, if you have to sit for a month, that's going to be worth more than just dropping the lease to what it should be.
Tell your stories on these things that when something does show that, hey, there's a decline, because if you look at the big picture, everybody, the only place you're seeing, you know, that, oh, real estate's not a good spot right now, rents are falling. The only place you're seeing that is YouTube. You look at the national news and everybody's like, oh, well, we might be in a recession. We might be doing this. And we're just blinded by the mainstream media. So like when you're watching YouTube channels like Josh and stuff, you're seeing real life on the ground stuff. It's not some fabricated story that somebody else wrote and Josh is reading it. So, you know, it's well worth it to watch these videos.
Is that hard for you to negotiate with your landlord, or was it pretty straightforward? Were you nervous at all?
Well, to be honest, I've been watching these videos for a long time, your videos, a couple other videos, and just like paying attention to, you know, what these guys are doing, the pros essentially. Yeah. And no, it wasn't hard. It would have been a lot harder if there was only 3 houses in the market, you know. Right. And that's the difference between a year ago when I signed the lease. There was no bargaining chip. Yeah. Like the only bargaining chip I had then was to offer them X amount of money up front. Yeah. Like, let's pay 6 months up front. And they were all about that to save $100, you know, a month kind of thing. But essentially, no, it's the market that gave me the, oh, cool, I got something in my court. And, you know, when I did tell them that and I said, listen, you know, this could sit for a month, it could sit for 6. You don't know where it's going to go, or you could just have me in it. And, you know, she was like, oh, yeah, we do have a place that's, you know, a couple hundred square feet less than the house you're living in the same city in Star. And it's listed at 2,100. And it's still to this day, in which I'm pretty sure December 5th is when I signed the new lease. Mm-hmm. And these conversations happened like November 16th and 17th, somewhere in there. Yeah. And still to this day, that house is still sitting for 2,100. So.
Okay, so you also said that you're watching other guys. Now, we're just a small channel. What are these other channels that you're watching that are saying the same thing that we're echoing?
So I watched Jason Walters. Okay. You know, he was the type of guy in the beginning that kind of kept me sane about the housing market. Like, oh, it's not going to crash, because he was like positive. And then now, I mean, he just calls it as he sees it. Yeah. Which I can appreciate. And then Real Estate Mindset, I watched them, and then Reinventure. Yeah. He's still on a break. Tear. But yeah. Anyway, I've been watching these guys for a long time, and you know, they're echoing the same thing. You guys are echoing each other all the time, and really good data out there for everyone. Yeah.
So I hope you guys are going to be able to take what this gentleman experienced and how you can use that to better help you renegotiate a new lease that's coming up, or if you're getting into a rental, then you can use that as well. But if you've already got into a rental and you've tried something, let us know what you've experienced. Let us know what you are experiencing through your market in your area. Or have you tried this before? Or have you tried something different that gave you better results? Let us know. We want to hear from you. What are you doing out there?